Let's go! Welcome to the 1.7 podcast, the place where creatives get to speak the truth about ourselves, our art, and our place in the world. Let's talk about, as creatives, to accept the fact that we are broken. There is a saying, it was by Aristotle, and he says the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And of course, a lot of people have always talked about what he meant and what does that phrase mean. What we do know is that they're, just based on the phrase, they're saying that there are a lot of different parts, and when you put these parts together, they become greater as a unit than they are individually. So the question I would ask would be, as creatives, right, where does your focused expression come from? Where do you think your focused expression come from, right? I mean, when you are like really trying, right? When we are really aiming our creative energies to create good art and to put forth good work, where does our focused expression, where does that really come from? Creative energy. Does it come from our gear? Does it come from the gear? Does it come from our knowledge of the art? Right? Understanding how things work and knowing the trade. Right? Where does that actually come from? I don't know if you guys have ever really thought of that. Tonight I was thinking about that. And I think, based on what Aristotle was saying, that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So it comes from the collective of who you are, right? The collective, right? So we are all a bunch of small little parts put together. Come on, if you know I'm talking the truth. A bunch of insecure people, creatives got their strangeness, and a lot of that comes from the fact that there's just a lot of pieces, a lot of brokenness, a lot of shattering in ourselves. As creative people, we're usually the ones who are open and transparent and trusting, right? And we wear our hearts on the sleeves, and because of that, we're the ones that get broken. We're the first to be damaged. And I think once you accept that once we accept this brokenness, we begin to understand that there is no wrong way to see the art that we create. And there is no wrong expression of creativity, just different courses. Because as we begin to understand and begin to accept that all of us has come on a journey to where we are now, and if we accept that that journey is made up of a ton of different parts, and if we accept that those parts, those separated parts, those shattered pieces, right, make up the brokenness, if we accept that, right, I think we begin to free ourselves of people's perceptions and trying to prove ourselves and competing with other people and etc. etc. So you see there are 5 Telly Awards behind me. And they're behind me because I need them. They're behind me because it is a part of my brokenness. Right? So some people may have been like, well, I don't want to show them because blah, blah, blah. It's like, you're showing off, blah, 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 etc., etc. They're there because I need them. They are a representation of my brokenness in this world. As a person of color, understanding in a market like this, understanding that the spaces that you get to lead and explore are very limited. The affirmation that you would get as a person of color in spaces that are limited for you. So you would find a way. I have found a way to get the affirmation for the work that I do. And I've accepted that need is a part of my brokenness. I remember I was at a wedding fair and I had brought it because we want the brides to know that the team that they're hiring for their wedding and their photography are very proficient people in terms of what we do and how we work. But I was going to have a couple of these awards probably in the back where we were editing. We try to keep our wedding booth a little, immersive experience wise, and we have people shooting and we have people editing and different things like that, so I don't know, when you go to some agencies and agencies win things, agencies put their awards out front so that clients would know that their work is in good hands and they are accredited. Yeah. So we're at this booth and Stacy, that was helping me kind of put the booth together, she said, why are you leaving your awards back there? You need to bring your awards all the way up to the front so that brides and couples can actually see it. And I felt funny about it because I didn't want to be that guy like I'm, trying to show off or whatever and all of that stuff. But just feeling those things is brokenness because you want to be accredited because I've worked hard for this stuff and they are very limited spaces, right? So for me, those awards are part of my brokenness. The fact that they're back there, the fact that I put them back there, I chose to put them back there so people can see them, is a part of my brokenness. And I have embraced it. I have embraced that broken floor because I need that to be part of my whole. So as we are, as we're talking about this, if we, you look at it, your favorite creative, they are not great because they're brilliant. And not that they're not brilliant, but they're not great because they're brilliant, right? They're great because they're broken, right? They're great because they are shattered, right? As creatives, our work, our art, it comes from a broken space. It comes from a broken space. A lot of times spaces of affirmation and rejection, and it comes from those spaces. And if you look at creatives, right? You look at creatives, people have done great films and great movies. If you stripped all that stuff away, you would see that what I'm saying is true. We've all journeyed somewhere and we've all been beaten and battered, and all of those parts create the whole. But a lot of times as creatives, we have been told, I don't know if it's society that tells us this, but I think, it might be the world. We are expected to walk in some level of normalcy. And if you are broken, maybe that's considered not normal. But it tells us that we're supposed to have it all together. I've come to a conclusion that I have embraced my weakness. I'm not perfect at it. There's still a lot of places that I'm still trying to come to terms with in my own self. But I believe as creatives, as we do that type of soul searching and we begin to understand and we stop performing, one of my mentors would always tell me, she would say, Ryan, she would say, you need to stop suffering from PTP, right? So PTP is the acronym for pressure to perform, right? And a lot of creatives, they suffer from PTP, pressure to perform, right? Pressure to perform, pressure to perform. I still suffer from pressure to perform, but I think it comes from a different place, an accepting of the brokenness that even though I am, on a team, I don't see myself as the most knowledgeable guy in the room ever. I always try to, get people that are smarter and better, more proficient in different ways. I've accepted that knowledge-based weakness, if you want to call it that, right? So you find cinematographers that are better than yourself, even if you're growing in your own cinematography. You find audio people that are better than you, even though you're growing in your own audio. As as we grow our business and our companies, we realize that we just can't do these things all on our own. And you have to accept your weakness. It's important. And the reason it's important because I believe, and this is for me, as I have accepted who I am, I have accepted some of the cards that life has dealt me. I've accepted the things that I need. And I'm continuing to learn how to be myself and to be the best me. Those parts, those broken, shattered pieces, right? They are coming together and they are making a whole that is greater than all of them. They're making a whole that is greater than all of those weaknesses, all of those flaws, all of those broken pieces put together. They're creating a whole that is greater than all of them. So as a creative for me, and there's a lot going on in our company, a ton of stuff going on behind the scenes with our business. So as a creative for me, I have come to a place where I have accepted weakness, accepted flaws, accepted that as I continue to work on my craft, there are just going to be folks that are way down the road. They're always going to be better, right? As I've accepted where my business is realistically, so then I could actually make the necessary adjustments to do what I need to do. And the only person that I'm in competition with is myself, right? Is myself. And people say that, but I really mean that. Because I'm after the whole. I'm after the whole, the place that you can look in the mirror and say, this is who I am. I am the collective of all of this missing parts and messiness and flaws but as they come together, this whole is greater than the sum of all its parts. Anyways, thank you for listening. This is podcast number 2. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Zandley Media and TikTok at Zandley Media 00. Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're going to keep chatting, and we're going to also have some other creatives that come on and dialogue with us. So again, God bless. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to the 1.7 podcast. We really do appreciate you taking your time out of your day to give us a listen, and we do hope that you really got something today out of the conversation. Be sure to follow us. We definitely want to be friends over at Instagram at Zandley Media. Until next time, keep creating. Right.